This conference will now be recorded.
Good evening, everybody. Park Board meeting for June third today. Welcome. We have an agenda tonight. Love it. Everybody fun.
The update. Obviously, the highlighted ones are added, correct?
Correct.
On the agenda.
Yep.
Cool. I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Minutes from May 6th.
We still have all 15 of them. Seriously, that's just an odd question, but I mean, I know that stuff to kind of get pulled out late
Yeah.
at night and stuff like that, and somebody's got a whole bunch of hot holes in there and stuff like that, even though it's from in, and it's sort of nasty job, you have to pull those all out.
We'll find out in a few days, I guess.
It took a long time for it to get to.
Right.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes in May.
I'll second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Accounts payable, Deputy Bill.
You were in the Longwood station.
Mhm.
Is that the one you just did?
Yep. Yep.
So that one would be reimbursed.
It already, they did pay for it already. So the 288.97 from Dog Waste Depot, we'll be getting paid for that one.
Field size, we decide on some, pet type fence lines, is that what the ball field signs are?
I think Mike already does. Yeah. Oh, they're in, okay.
Awesome. Thank you for that. Yeah, hope so.
We'll see.
Yeah.
The issue, but.
Oh, ticket too?
They should have taken the one.
Okay, good.
But I haven't noticed, he was the only one that I've noticed out there in a while. But I guess I'm here most of the time, so. But when I'm going back and forth between here and home,
Yeah.
I haven't noticed a whole lot recently.
I'll make a motion to approve the accounts payable for this month.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Accounts payable. And sign. Yeah. Public comment? Anybody here? Who are you? All right, then we'll move on to our unfinished business and priority list projects updates.
The dugouts, we're going back for a slight revision to post location. There was some discussion about the existing concrete in the post location, so thank you to both Mike and Brian for working with one of our head volunteers to try and get the materials and get all the stuff, so between like the 3, 4 of them and the designers and stuff. I think we'll have a usable plan coming here very shortly and get the updated stuff and still get these in yet this spring. So it was just a little confusion on where the concrete was already in play versus what was on the drawing. That was a little bit my fault for not reviewing the drawings and being out there with the people who were actually gonna do the building until it was right up in time to gather the people who were gonna do the building, so. Little setback there, but it's going very well. We got the egg line delivered just before the big rain, got it all spread out last Friday before the graduation ceremony, so the fields are able to handle the big bouts of rain, so fields are very usable and great, and it should be there shortly.
Thoughts on the ball field?
I think they look great.
Yeah, excited to see them being used. I know that you've had a lot of requests for the Google Calendar and stuff like that. There's a lot more people even from the Zephyr that are getting in there. There was even 2 different people that have nothing to do with baseball, but they're food truck services that asked if they could now have access to the calendar because they want to know when people are there. And I was just like, pretty much every night. So again, as I've mentioned to our baseball booster club several times, like, we have a concession stand out there that is roughed in that could, with very little, upkeep, be maintained and, do different things out there. I'll take a small little divider wall in there and you could have the drag and the tractor and stuff and the overhead door and the main concession area could actually be functional for volunteers. So far, no takers on the parents and the sign up geniuses and things like that for people who run a concession stand multiple times per week. So for now, we'll leave it with food trucks and different things that want to stop out. It is definitely a busy, busy place. Glad to see it being used.
Continue to support it.
Yes.
Okay, you're okay with that? We can talk about some swimming pool. Some swimming pool.
Oh, you said I can share. I can talk loud.
That blinking one is terrible.
Just take all of them.
Yeah, it's muted. I don't know why it does that. Yeah, when it's muted, it blinks like that, and I don't know why it does
Okay. Check on to swimming pool on the next. Swimming pool, I'm assuming we have the committee all.
Yep, so I can speak to some of this. Yeah, Josh has been communicating with the committee. There's going to be a meeting on Wednesday at 5 p.m. at Meg's house. They can meet on site. I don't know if any of us can even go to the meetings. We have to meet, so we're going to have a committee meeting. But one of the things we're going to talk about is a table at the Zero Block. Josh and I were talking, I said, oh, there's going to be a block, but we get people in there, we can come up with a couple of posters. We did, and so those are all in order. They're all in the contract. The poster boards are $150 each, which are they're noted in the contract and noted as the cost is in, I believe. And so hopefully it's okay that I said that at those times I haven't made the decision. We get them ordered, get them coming. So we have them for the block. So, but we can sit at that table if anybody wants to. We just can't say, vote for us. We can answer questions and help recruit more committee members. So any one of us can sit there. I think that I would spend some time there. Miranda's working on some really, what should I call it? To pretty it up. Floaties and water kind of.
that. Like a tablecloth that looks like water.
I was just gonna throw a white
It's
table
like
up there.
a banner to hang pool themed stuff.
It'll be
something, so
I'm still
you,
waiting to hear back.
so we will have you thought about it before we showed up.
Yeah, I'm still waiting to hear back from Paul, from Zeno, as to whether they're going to okay with it.
Is it this Thursday?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
This Thursday from 2 to 8. So, we've got a council meeting, and it always falls in the council meeting, it's going to be a huge council meeting too, so I don't know if we'll get out of here in time to go down after the council meeting. Yeah, so that's, and the question is there, I should have given you a copy of the question, but you told me to put as a question last time, so that all that paperwork is in, so it'll be on the ballot. Mike has been contemplating, we've had some vandalism up there, Mike. Broken window and.
Probably open the pop machine.
Do we own the pot machine?
I don't think so.
No, I was just gonna call and, or I was just gonna update you guys on that. So I actually called them and I have to get the number off the machine and then they will come get it. Pepsi will. So, and then I had talked to them about keeping the account open just so that we have it for when we need it in the future, but they will come get it because they need to make and everything on that. So,
A magnet for vandalism, something like that.
yeah, I've been in contact with the Pepsi.
Michael's gonna check with Schumacher to see what the cost of demo would be, just so we have active. Because it's gotta be done at some point, or whatever, it's part of the budget, or it's already budget. And we've got some operating dollars still there, we could get it out of there ahead of time, not have to deal with vandalism.
And if we think if you could get it out of there earlier, then when it is approved, then we could, then they could get started without having to walk through that process first. Maybe, I don't know for sure, but
Oh, you're supposed to have to talk about the, we're not out with it, that's the good, but we have, I won't use names, but we have a large commitment with a local company. Like a 6-figure commitment to the board, yeah. And with a request for matching. We're gonna go out with that to the public, well, next Friday. No, this Friday. This Friday, I'll get something updated to it on the website. I'm kind of waiting for a quote. From the others. That's awesome. So that's the big splash that Burbach and Josh was looking for, the capital deal going. So that's a 6-figure donation.
Awesome.
The pledge, donation, yeah, it's a pledge.
And the pledge was a funds matching from anywhere, like we combined that.
Citizens and other businesses.
Perfect.
Ideally, another business would step up with the same
Sure.
6-figure. Which would help. A lot.
That'd be awesome.
super exciting.
Very exciting.
That's a great first step.
Hoping to get something like that, because that tends to get those revenues.
We should tell the committee they should make a big thermometer for Thursday.
That'd be a good
So,
idea.
that would make a big, that'd make a chunk.
That's a great idea. Yeah.
I don't know how to roll that out without, I was gonna kind of do a press release on Friday.
Oh,
So,
But maybe a thermometer would be something you could have like up here, you know, or I don't know if you can have here, but like,
we could have a thermometer and fill in that much. and
Yep.
keep it secret.
right, we don't have to say what it is.
or what it
And
is.
just pledges at this time, so
Right,
it's not like it's in blood.
right.
Right. No, that's great.
Yeah, that's,
No, really good company, really good people.
it's really promising.
Excited.
They're very generous. They've always been very generous to things in the community, so it'll be good.
I think that was one of our overly optimistic points last time too, is that if we end up saying that we were gonna bond for, 80% and only come up with 20% in pledges and donations, if we end up getting more than 20%, that would just lower the bond.
Absolutely.
Well, in fact, so, in fact,
So
The
instead
more
of just
the
a $1
merrier.
million, yeah, it'd be, that's great. That's great.
I had kind of like just a little slight update slash, two questions for you guys. So I have, okay, it took me forever and a day, but I did get a hold of the right person at the Red Cross.
No way.
Hallelujah, yes, I spent a lot of time on the phone, a lot of time being hung up on the phone, a lot of transfers and not getting back to them. But I did get a hold of the right people, well, that sent me at least in the right direction. So they kind of let me know what I can do on my end and what I need guards to do to be able to make sure their WSI is updated as they go to other jobs, and even if it is outdated, how to get that rectified. And so I sent information out to the guards about that today with all the directions of what to do, and to let them know that I'd be happy to meet with any of them to help them with it if they're having troubles with the process, but gave them a phone number and a direction and a process for how to do that. So I was really excited about that when I finally got through. I was like, yes, yes, at the last week, at the end of the week. I talked to Pepsi, just so you guys know, they were gonna come pick that machine up. I had talked to Mike just slightly about some storage stuff, so we'll kind of take care of that on our end. I have like a Google sheet right now that I've made, for the process and all the things that go on as we end this pool and look at beginning a new one. Keeping an inventory of reusable things, inventory of consumables, ideas or reminders of things that we do at this pool that would be helpful in looking at the next pool, of things we need to keep in mind. And then also notes about the different facility areas that like were things that were helpful for us. Also, I think that was, I don't know. Oh, and then also I was kind of starting to work on like making a guide of how to run the pool with like timelines on things to do, contact information, login information, all that kind of stuff. Like I have all those things, but it's all stuff that took me a little while to like find. Or like this whole process with Red Cross is all because I didn't know that that was a thing, because that was not necessarily like conveyed, I guess, because I wasn't aware of it. So I'm trying to make like a guide of how to do it that myself and or anybody in future years could either add to or edit or
Well, it's
work off of, if
helpful
you guys are
for,
good with that.
it's helpful for us too, because like we didn't really have any involvement in the
Right.
pool. And so when the last manager left, it was kind of like, well, we gotta just figure this out.
Yeah, so I'm trying to like go, that's what like my kind of process along with anything else that you guys need from me besides stuff up at the pool, like the storing of things, is like trying to figure out how to like make that like a really complete guide so that it's, anybody can look at it and go, at least, okay, I know at least a direction to go in, or somebody to contact about that, or how was that done in the past, or what worked about that, what didn't. So I'm working on that. And then I had another question about do you guys have a suggestion and or thought about what I should do with like consumables? So things that like we can't use right now, like our Band-Aids that we have that we purchased last year would probably still be good for this year, but I'm assuming the adhesive won't last for another year or two. By that, like they go bad pretty quick. So if there's anything like that that's usable right now, is there anything specifically you guys want me to do with that, or places you want to go? I don't necessarily need an answer right now, but I just wanted to bring that to your attention that like if there's somewhere that you know of that could use it, like could we put some of those things out at the ball field so they're just there? Or what do you, those kind of things that are consumables that we can't really necessarily take with us to the next phase. So just a thought process, I don't need an answer now, but just.
Or a pallet of swim diapers that I have under my desk.
Well, she can use some of those then.
Yeah.
We got
I might
those,
need some of those.
we got those delivered to us, so if you know anybody in the community that needs swim diapers,
How about the community candidates?
yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, that was a good idea. I should put some of those swim diapers in those things too, because they were just donated to us. The company that got them thought they were real diapers. They had like 3 pallets of swim diapers.
So they last a while. We could
I think so, yeah.
bring something up with those. Nice to know.
I would definitely vote for paying it forward and just donating them somewhere else if they were donating to us.
Could you put anything like that on tables when we're doing this and like, hey, if you do this, like, there's one diaper.
Absolutely.
get attention, you know what I mean? Like,
Especially those-
that's a cool thing.
Those diapers, they're expensive.
They are.
Right. Yeah, we
Bring a
have
box
people
down
take them even if they're not swimming.
Yep.
That's a great idea.
I've got another question, I guess. The AED for the pool, can we take that out to the baseball fields for summer?
Oh.
Yeah.
And then maybe we should think about getting one for there too. To see one,
Well, it's a good, yeah, it's a great one.
but we might as well put it to use one.
I have one in my office, actually.
What do you do?
Yeah, I wasn't even rid of all of them. But the food side. I think everyone that uses it, I have an insurance.
That's a great idea.
And I'm sure I'll come, you know, as we go through this, I'll come across other things, you know, she'll ask, but those are just the things that I've come up with so far. I wonder what you guys kind of know what I was looking at. So.
And there'll probably be a few things I was thinking of, like the hot water heater. I'm sure we can get rid of that, but that has some value in it, so I don't know if they put it on auction or something.
That was gonna be my question, is of the stuff that you've already got inventory, I don't know if you've done from page or whatever, other than consumables, what other things are out there before we wanna look at seriously considering Schumachers and maybe doing a demo, there's obviously things of value like the umbrellas and the rock climbing wall and.
That rock climbing wall, we're gonna take down, put that in place there.
Like,
And I haven't removed anything out of there, I'm just working on the process of it, and a lot of this stuff will be like, it's stuff that could, at least that I'm thinking of, that could be boxed up or used, I mean, there's like a mini fridge out there, but.
It might be better off selling something like that too.
You know, like versus the
They
storage,
sit too long and
yeah.
Buy a different one.
right, I was thinking that all this stuff, and then all that stuff could maybe go towards a donation, and we could lobby that back in there, or in a fund that goes towards the future pool, if the future pool is approved. You say it's a store, and it's outdated, and, right, you don't want an old fridge or old radio, or,
There's, cause like the radio and stuff that's out there is like we pulled up, we bought the speaker, so like the speaker, do you use that somewhere else? Do we,
Yeah,
you
because
know, like,
I'm assuming that with a new pool will come an actual sound system.
cause it's like a, I mean, it's a nice, like one of those rolling speakers,
It
you know,
is.
we bought it at like Sam's Club or whatever last year because the speaker system in the pool was
Right.
shot, so, I mean, that kind of stuff, I don't know. What the radio
Do we
is.
have one of those here? We have speakers.
We gave, that was the festival, I think, did we give that to them, or did we
No,
keep
it's
that?
still here. I just saw them today when I was in the canopy.
I mean, it has microphones and stuff, so it may be something really useful for any sort of like events we have outside or anything like that, but I just, you know,
Yeah, we should keep that around.
Yeah, being that you bought that last year, I think, right, yeah, we should just keep that up here for sure. We can use that for stuff.
but I'll, those kinds of things I'll have on here so that it's,
Yeah.
you know, where it is and what it is and. But I'll come across as I do more of this, I'll, you know, let you guys know.
Talk about Dan's salary and how it currents with the another month. Inventory.
I was gonna say, maybe she answered that question. That was a good segue into that one. Sounds like you do a lot of stuff, man.
Yeah, because we talked about it last month, but Kim was like, you gotta tell me when.
Yeah, and I don't know what you, like, what your guys, I'm trying to like make sure that I'm just doing everything that you guys need of me.
Yep.
Expectation wise, I don't, it's hard, I don't ever done this before, nor have you guys.
Right.
If we can use your labor and we can get our inventory set up and then we can take the inventory and bring a silent auction kind of list towards the pool committee. And just shift it, use your work and shift it into the pool committee donations. Process and then just yeah, we can go rest. Pretty similar or not?
For you guys especially, like, if you have to get out to it.
I mean, is there another month worth of work out there, and the inventory is done, you said you had that spreadsheet.
I'm not done with it, I'm starting the process of like what I have of everything, but I'm not done with the inventory at all.
Gotcha. So this is just part-time stuff you're doing after the normal hours or something?
Yeah, so I haven't been out there or anything like, and gathered any of this stuff with school, you know, today's the first day that I'm out of there, so Now I'll have more time to be able to go do that stuff and pull that stuff out of there, but I wanted to also have a little direction of where some of this stuff goes.
Yeah, it's a
Getting
thing
updated
being,
again next month.
right,
Yeah.
with the list being incomplete,
Yeah, I
and
think so.
filled, I would think that we definitely want to extend that, so that would be my motion, is that we extend it one more month with the expectation we can get it completed and wrapped up by the end of the month.
I'll second it.
So do you want 2 more payrolls then? Because we get paid every other week.
I would sure think so, unless she thinks it's gonna be less time than that now that she's out of school. I mean, whatever time you think, you know better than anybody what else is left out there.
It's also like hard because they just had set up like whatever it was for the season, it wasn't based on like, it was starting in March and ended in October.
Right,
Just based, like it wasn't based on like 2 weeks worth of work, so I don't
yep.
know for sure. I'll
Has
just
it- have
do
we done-
everything I can to get out
3? Yeah, 4? Pay period?
2,
2, okay,
because we started it after the last meeting.
gotcha.
So the second one was this last week.
Yep. Okay.
So I don't, I mean, I
She's still
guess,
doing work, right?
Right,
and I can come back at the end of this.
I would agree.
Yeah.
You can always,
Now, if there's more work to be done.
at the next meeting,
Yeah.
I would move for 2 more pay periods with the expectation of like, at least the inventory and the consumables, just all that stuff, just a list of that stuff without having to move it, because I agree with Mike, we could get another committee of people or labor to do that stuff, but just the know-how stuff, things that she's the subject matter expert on, I would hope that she could wrap that up. But I wouldn't spend any time, at least on the guideline and all that stuff, until we figure out what the pool is going forward, because you might be working on documentation that
That's right.
potentially got.
Yeah.
So I would spend time just trying to figure out how you're doing it, moving, closing sale, like getting rid of all.
Yeah.
And what was you asked the question of when we're gonna shut everything down out there, right?
Yeah. then we'll,
That's all the utilities.
we'll shut down all the utilities, yeah.
That'd be perfect.
Which the water and sewer have already shut that down, we're not paying for that at this point, but
And then we should
electric
probably
and
make
gas.
sure we're out of there by the end of the month. Right, so that'd be perfect timing.
Yep.
So we're done with everything. we're out of there.
Yeah, I'll come back next month and tell you what I have, and you let me know if you want anything else from me.
Awesome.
Awesome, thank you. Great work on finally getting through the,
Phone calls.
Did we get a, so we've got a motion, did we get a second to approve?
I seconded it. Seconded.
Because that'll at least get us through to the next meeting, I guess,
Yeah.
if you guys want to revisit it. again.
Right.
Okay, is everyone okay with that discussion, and when we can go towards July? Yeah. Okay. New business, man, we'll go through the plus 2 area pools, we got that letter.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I see Miranda bailed me out, that was another memo I was supposed to do, wasn't I? See?
And I was getting anxious, so I just put it on a piece of paper.
Yeah, she just asked me about the salary one, and I'm like, oh, shoot, yeah.
It's your words, though, I just
Yes,
copied
it
and
is.
pasted it.
This is what I had in the, work session, council work session, and they said, yeah, you should probably do this for free. Like, well, of course, that makes sense. So here it is, but I haven't heard back from them. They were supposed to get back to me before the work session last week, and I haven't heard anything, but, Diane and Tracy stopped in and said, hey, would you be interested in having the bus go to area pools? They were gonna see what time open swim was, like one day they'll give you a time. And normally they would charge $5, what would be a $10 round trip out of town. And they said they're willing to do it for $5. And then offered to, if we wanted to subsidize it, if we wanted to just give a donation to them, a $1,000 donation, that's like probably cover the whole year of whoever's gonna ride it. But they weren't sure yet, so they're gonna do more research. But I guess what I need from you is this something that is a good idea? I think for sure, if parents are gonna pay for it on their own, they're just gonna buy the 50-cent tokens to send their kids, probably the older kids, I would think. And could we throw a few bucks at subsidizing the cost for the community?
I think it's a
would be a one-year thing, you know, if the pool doesn't pass, we're not gonna continue to
Right.
moving forward. But at least it's a little, hey, here we go. And we know it sucks to not have a pool, but if you want to get your kids to the pool during the day, they can potentially ride this. And then I'll get back together with Dan and Tracy just to see what I have with this, but.
Yeah, you know, pros and cons, there's like a legal side to it too, if there's how to conserve money. And that's how I see it, if you would say no, is that, you know, money goes somewhere else. And yes, it is a great idea. Yes, it is like a community support, and we feel that about closing the pools. You know, it's serious, you know, because I thought it was.
My thought process is just from the outside, like, would they be willing to have, like, take a tally of how many kids ride it, and then you guys, like, pay that on the backside instead of, like, paying it up front? Because what if you don't have $1,000 worth of riders? You know, what if you have 600?
They're willing to do anything.
Yeah, maybe that would be just because you don't know how well it'll be attended or not.
Yeah, right.
Wow. And they would have probably 2 pickup spots, one on the east side of town, one on the west side of town, probably at one of the churches.
I agree with Mike, and from the frugal standpoint, if you were to put it out there to say that, you know, transportation tokens are available or, you know, funding available for those that wanted or needed for, that would be attending the pool or doing certain things, like you said, you never know what you're gonna do versus just opening it wide open. I also agree with Aaron too, that I just think it's an awesome support effort that says, hey, we know the community needs swimming and we don't provide it this summer, so here's what we're willing to do as a gesture for year one.
Yeah. You know, even $500 would be 100 rides.
Right. And I mean, look what we're saving in operating costs alone in just this year being down, not that we want to spend that same money 100 times over.
Could I tell them
$500
that,
donation.
could I tell them that we will go up to $500 or something like that? But let us know. You know, they basically have a commitment up to $500.
Correct, because we could always extend that if it's super popular, and if not, then we didn't spend the whole 500, but that'd be a great starting point.
I think that's a good idea.
I think that's fair.
A pledge up front and we'll pay for whatever riders they get, so we won't charge commission.
Correct.
Until they get past the fine.
Maybe
Absolutely.
you can revisit it each month, you know, maybe it's super well attended, and then you're like, oh, we want to do more.
Right,
Right,
We don't want to take it.
right.
right.
Poster board in the bus.
Yes, oh, there you go, yeah, for the new pool.
Free rides, but also a donation can as you go down.
Yes.
Well, that's a good point too, yeah. I think it would be a good gesture.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
So I'll make a motion to approve the Three Rivers free transportation up to $500 for next month.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Motion passed. Thank you. Budget for next year.
Already. Already.
Oh.
Yep. So, think it's June already? Oh. August is, I think it's August is the first week there. September.
Does Kim have a dumbed down version of this, of things that just show what drastically increased, or isn't just a standard like 3% or 5% increase from one year to the next?
Well, yeah, I mean, you can kind of see those, you know, if you look at the 24 as opposed to the 25 for each line item. And that's what I do, my initial, when I get the budget, that's what Kim does, is throw in the standard, usually you're right, sure, it's 3%. And then I just go right down each one and say, okay, you know, we overspent here, we underspent there, and start looking at all that kind of stuff. But, you know, we'll start with,
It's like you, on account 225, you spend everything you make. Is the park areas for 63 grand, you know, defined, or what is the cost? That's on page 18.
Restricted, no, public areas,
Expenditure.
20,419, so, well, you can see everything under there. Property tax, or partial areas, that's a good question. And then you, that is right, on the first one.
Wage and maintenance, or
We should have been ready to walk through this. I haven't even seen this yet.
Which line item are you on?
Park areas, which is on 18, top of page 18, for 63,873 for 2025.
Trying to see if I knew I coded anything in that one, but I don't know what that one is. We'll make a note, are you making a note for next meeting?
Yes.
from past discussions, I assume it's something we've already committed to, or that we already commit to. I think that goes for 226 too, that's like our priority list. We kind of dedicate those funds.
I think, what did she describe, 225 is like your checkbook, and then 226 is like the savings account. I think it's how she described that last year. So yeah, if you guys kind of chew on this for the next month and just, if and when you think of questions, just email them, probably to Brian.
Yep.
And then he'll get together with Kim and have that for you for next month.
The answers, absolutely.
Being that we have a couple months here yet until we have to have it approved, right?
Oh, yeah.
September.
That's what we started with, yeah, September.
Yeah, if there's anything we can find to tweak and put money elsewhere, more effective timely, I think we maintain a good priority list in our dedication to things. But since we shift gears a couple months ago with the pool closure, campground spending, there's some more time over the next year that we can shift funds. That's when my is landed on this dedication thing.
Even the tax portion, the current tax is up about, that's about 7%. Partial could be the same, interest, we're doing much better with the interest now. Look at CDs that money is moving out of now at 5 over 5% as opposed to 0.8% in past years. Whereas everything else, it kind of follows 2 or 3% on the expenditures.
I think some of that money is tied up in investments, CDs,
Yeah, well, not tied up.
money that
We have a tiered, well, we call it, it's a ladder system for the CDs. And when we know that something's coming, we've got CDs maturing up. I'm constantly going up there and signing for new ones. Because then that cash is not locked up. And even if we did end up doing all the CD a little bit over time, these are very, very small because the bank is good to work with, so.
Can you get the Bitcoin at any point?
What's that?
Bitcoin at any time?
No, we haven't done that yet. We gotta, actually, I don't think we can. As a, taxpayer dollars, there's only certain things that you can put that money into and sell pretty safe.
That was a joke.
Yeah, no, I thought about doing it already.
So next month, are we looking to solidify that, or when's the deadline to solidify the budget?
Well, no, we've got another month after that, July, yeah, August.
Perfect, so we got some time to get answers from Kim on any questions.
Absolutely.
Perfect.
This is more or less just to update the front of you and chew on it. If you want items, ask, if you have any questions, shoot me emails.
Any other new business? Would you like to move on? For this Rolling Meadows event and covered Bridge Park.
Yep, these people have hosted this event in the park for the last couple of years. They've included a map where they're gonna be completely self-sufficient. They're not even thinking about bathroom facilities, so this is just kind of what they're gonna be there on June 27th through June 30th, so we haven't had any issues with them in the past, so I think it should be good for them.
I need a motion to approve the use of our park.
We don't need a motion, it's just unless you guys have any issues you want me to take back to them, I'll let them know, because I know sometimes will suggest, oh, maybe we should move the tent over here, or, but I think they've done it in that exact same spot, and I think it went pretty well for them, so.
Let's hope it's dry by then.
I was
Right.
just gonna say, as long as the pool isn't down there, it
Yeah.
should be fine.
And there was something I should have added, but I didn't even think about it, but we've got another one. Samantha Rucker, she is wanting to have a birthday party down there. And she would like to set up a couple of bounce houses kind of down there at the bottom of the bridge here where the festival sets up. She's got a generator, so really nothing, it's just a couple of bounce houses and a birthday party down there in the grass. So just wanted to make you aware of that as a report item as well. You know, you're not hooking up a cord and covered bridge or any power or anything like that. You know, so those type of things. We'll make you guys aware of it. But we don't really charge rent for the grass fish, so.
Is that the difference between a report and a request? Is if you're looking for any use of city facilities or electricity, then it's a request, but if you're just saying, hey, by the way, I'm
Yes.
gonna be in your space.
Yep, just an update.
Or if you're gonna have a bounce houses and a kegger.
Right, I just meant like the field of flags came in requesting permission to put the flags there, but the tent people aren't looking for permission, they're saying, we're just gonna be there.
I mean,
The field of flags
Was
was,
that
we wanna
approved?
use your
I
electricity.
don't, to be honest with you,
Well, what do you want?
I've never really seen
Yeah.
a need for them to, but I
I
suppose,
mean,
we
people come in
pay-
and ask for permission to put the storybook alongside the thing, they're not asking. So I'm just curious as to where the
Yep.
disconnect is between I'm putting up a bounce house and I'm putting up a rummage sale sign. Like, these guys are asking for permission, these guys are just saying, by the way, inform them I'm gonna be there.
yep, I mean, I guess I look at it as how do they approach me, because like, to me, should Paula be asking for permission to use it, or, I mean, it's a
Right.
park, so.
And that's
you
why I was
know.
wondering where the line actually was drawn. If it's just grass space,
Uh-huh,
it's a report, in my opinion, to Brian's comment.
Whereas,
Versus
like,
if you wanna be plugged into our electricity, or
Yes.
you want us to supply a porta potty, like the Field of Flags does.
yes, that's what I was gonna say,
That's a
the field of,
request.
the field of honor, you guys buy stuff for them, so that could be that. But like, the people that, they're not using our electricity, they're just using the green space, to me, that's why I put it in reports. I feel like if you guys are going to be funding something, whether it be by purchasing something or, you know, by them using the utilities, that's when I feel like your approval should come through for that. Do you think that's appropriate?
I do.
Makes sense.
Okay,
So next year,
That's
the
kinda what I was
library
thinking.
can be a report rather than a request.
yep,
The community had done the same thing, so they don't ask her. So they-
and I kind of go off of, like, Paula always asks to be put on the meeting to attend it, to talk to you guys. So being that she asks that way, I don't tell her, oh, you don't have to do that.
Right.
But if she would just say, hey, do you wanna let the park board know, then I would not make her attend the meetings.
I'll take a motion if we want to, where powder blades in the roads.
Like
People get
us.
up close.
Nay. I do have one question. The lights that we use for the skating rink, are those powered up year round for the people who want to use pickleball after sundown?
We did have a request about that last summer. Do you want to speak on that? Is there power to it? We don't shut that off with the utility company?
No, I can shut off.
Oh, okay. Do we or do we leave it on?
I guess that was in the middle of the storm.
Sure. Because I know we had a request last year.
Yep.
And I think Ronnie did something with it. I think it was able to be turned on for the late night pickleball.
I just had someone ask me at church whether or not the electricity was still there, because someone was trying to do it after dusk, but before 10 p.m., before the park closes.
Yeah,
And I said, well, I don't even know if that gets shut down, like the warming house gets pulled out. I don't know if the electricity
Right.
gets shut off to that or whatever. But I thought that was a great idea to promote if people want to stay and do that type of thing, to keep using that facility.
the only thing would be that if they're gonna turn it on, they gotta make sure they turn it off, because it doesn't turn off automatically.
Right.
So that'd be a lot of wasted electricity.
Yeah, we can have the police.
Check it out too.
It's
Sure.
on the shut off.
I mean, there's a lot worse things that the community members could be doing than playing pickleball at 10, 15 at night.
True.
There's a lot of time.
We'll be buying free pop at Pepsi. That's all I have.
So yeah, I guess we'll talk to the guys out at the shop, see if they. Cause I thought they made it usable last year during the summer.
On top of that, does anyone want to make the pickleball even more nicer by putting a barrier fence so the ball doesn't roll out of the field? Like 2 of our ice hockey wooden slats high? Or do you want to paint the court when you do?
We want to get a second net.
That's what
I
I
mean,
was
it is pretty popular. You see people down there. I don't know if there's a waiting line, but a second net or something.
Yesterday, I saw 3 courts going, so two people had brought their own nets. And there was a ton of people down there.
It's getting randomly popular.
People love pickleball.
Yeah, in Rochester, they use it after work.
Yeah,
It's just the whole court is for.
yeah. There's a couple families that I will see consistently that are down there, almost every night.
A lot of the paddles cost so much, I just don't understand.
Right.
Because it's popular.
I think let's finish the dugouts, and maybe the Frisbee golf. Before running off another.
Right,
Initiative with the pickleball, great idea.
Good point.
But let's finish up a couple, I think we were kind of down that road with Fred before he left too. Okay, let's try to finish a few of these things before we go into something else and push them across the finish line.
Do we know what we paid for that net anyway?
Like, I wanna say it was like 600 or 700 something. Or do you think it was less than that? Cause there was a while,
It's like 180 paddles and
how many years ago was that? Was that after the pandemic?
We can look into it for next month. I think that would be at least a good start, is getting a second net down there to see if the popularity maintains.
So we had bought quite a few things around the time we bought that, so I could be thinking something else was about $700.
That's all we got for June 3rd.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Wait a minute. Nope, we're good with July. Panicked there for a minute, thinking it was gonna.
Oh, no, it's on Thursday.
Yeah, it's the first, so
I
we're
will second
good.
the motion. Before Miranda's.
I'm usually on top of those. I'm usually on top of those, so I'm like, whoo, there's a holiday coming
Yeah,
up.
I do that because I had to look for work. so.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? I want to thank everybody for their intelligent conversation and good direction.
Now I missed the motion for the second.
Motion was Troy, and I second. Seconded, what is the correct term? Seconded?
Seconded?